The 2025-26 NBA season stands as a definitive inflection point for the Los Angeles Lakers, a franchise currently trapped between the gravitational pull of two distinct eras. On one side stands the established yet rapidly depreciating legacy of LeBron James. On the other, the ascendant primetime dominance of Luka. The acquisition of Doncic in February 2025 was not merely a roster adjustment, it was a declaration of a new timeline. However, the organization's refusal to fully commit to this new reality by retaining LeBron James has become detrimental to the team. The narrative that LeBron James is untouchable is nonsensical. History illustrates a clear pattern with LeBron. James maximizes his leverage to extract resources from a franchise, only to depart when the assets are depleted, leaving the organization high and dry. The Lakers now possess a rare window of opportunity to reverse this dynamic, to return the favor. Uno reverse by preemptively trading James to recoup assets, clear cap space, and fully unlock the Luka era. The Lakers absolutely have to trade LeBron James for financial and tactical survival. The team is caught in a bind, trying to serve two masters, two eras at the same time. You have LeBron at 41 with that massive $52.6 million salary, and he's, unintentionally or intentionally suppressing the entire Luka era before it could even start. This current roster is built to fail. Let's start with the on-court stuff, because that's where the friction becomes evident immediately. The theoretical pairing of LeBron James and Luka Doncic was predicated on the idea of an overwhelming abundance of playmaking intelligence. In practice, however, the 2025-26 season has revealed a stark tactical incompatibility. We're talking about two ball-dominant players, often referred to as heliocentric players, two guys who need the ball to run an offense. You have Luka in his absolute prime. His game is predicated on a high usage rate, methodical pick and roll manipulation, and the ability to dictate the tempo of the entire offense. LeBron James, despite his advanced age of 41, needs to be the engine and remains a ball-dominant player who struggles to be effective without the ball in his hands. The core issue is that James currently lacks the skill of Luka in terms of isolation efficiency and perimeter creation at this stage of his career. When James initiates the offense, Luka is often relegated to a spot-up role, a very expensive spot-up shooter, a waste of his generational talent. Conversely, when Doncic runs the show, James's lack of elite catch-and-shoot volume and his tendency to remain stationary on the perimeter allows defenses to shrink the floor. It turns 5-on-5 into 4-on-5, and that just kills your pace. Head coach J.J. Redick has publicly acknowledged that the team's offense descends into random possessions and lacks organization when James is on the floor. The modern NBA requires a frenetic pace, particularly in transition, to exploit mismatches. Luka, while methodical in the half court, excels at finding shooters in transition. James, however, often slows the game down to conserve energy, or worse, fails to run the floor entirely. This disparity creates a disjointed rhythm where the team cannot establish a consistent identity. The Lakers are effectively trying to play two different styles of basketball simultaneously: the Luka ball, spread pick and roll, and the LeBron ball, matchup hunting. The result is mediocrity. So this undermines everything Redick is trying to build. If your highest paid players are stationary, with this whole your turn then my turn, then everything just falls apart. It's a ticking time bomb for the coach. And this leads me right to the stats, which are, they're pretty jaw-dropping. The most damning evidence against the James-Luka pairing is found in the advanced metrics. The team simply doesn't look good when James is on the floor compared to when the younger core operates without him. The net rating analysis is the core of my argument. If you take the pairing of Luka and AR-15, just those two, untethered from LeBron James, you get a net rating of plus 15.3. This is indicative of a dominant, cohesive unit. That's championship caliber basketball. Plus 15, that is an elite number. However, simply adding James to this specific duo causes the net rating to plummet to minus 2.2, a swing of 17.5 points per 100 possessions. This is not statistical noise. choice. It is a signal. James is no longer an additive piece to the Lakers' best lineups. He is a subtractive one. His presence cannibalizes the spacing and fluidity that Luka and Reeves naturally generate. The Lakers are essentially playing with the handicap when their highest paid player is on the floor, forcing the offense to reset and the defense to scramble. So they go from a championship core to a lottery team, which brings me to my next point, one that may seem like hyperbole or even controversial. The idea that Austin Reeves has actually surpassed LeBron as the team's second most impactful player. The evidence is pretty undeniable. The games where James was sidelined, Reeves' production just exploded. His points per game jumped from 15 to almost 27. This is not merely volume scoring on bad efficiency. His true shooting percentage actually increases with higher volume, a hallmark of a true star, which is insane. Usually, when usage goes up, efficiency goes down, but not for AR-15. This caliber of player is forced to defer when James is on the court. My argument is bolstered by specific game performances that occurred during James's absences versus Sacramento Kings, October 26, 2025. In a game without both Luka and James, Reeves exploded for 51 points, 11 rebounds, and 9 assists on 54.5% shooting. This performance demonstrated a complete offensive repertoire: deep shooting, foul drawing, 21 out of 22 free throws, and playmaking. Versus Toronto Raptors, Reeves posted a 44-point, 11-assist performance, carrying the offense in a way that James has struggled to do efficiently this season. When James plays, Reeves is forced to defer, often standing in the corner or attacking late in the shot clock. This marginalization of Reeves is a strategic failure. Trading James hands Reeves the keys to the co-pilot seat beside Luka, turning the offense from a crowded cockpit into a streamlined fighter jet. Two pilots, one clear mission. While offensive statistics often dominate the discourse, the primary reason the Lakers don't look good is the collapse of their defensive integrity, a failure that begins with LeBron James. At 41 years old, James has become a targeted liability, and his presence on the floor compromises the team's entire defensive scheme. The Lakers' defensive metrics with James on the floor are catastrophic for a team with playoff aspirations. Since James returned from his sciatica injury in December, the Lakers' defensive efficiency has plummeted to 29th in the NBA. The team posts a defensive rating of 117 without James and 121.4 when he's on the floor. When the machine runs better after removing its biggest part, the problem is obvious. Bringing nothing to a partnership doesn't make you essential, it makes you a parasite. It's obvious to anyone with at least one working eye that James routinely conserves energy on the defensive end, resulting in missed rotations, a lack of box outs, and a failure to transition back on defense after missed shots. This lack of effort was highlighted vividly after the Christmas Day blowout loss to the Houston Rockets, 119-96. Head coach J.J. Redick's post-game comments were scathing.
Oh, we practice them all the time. It's not, again, it goes back to what I said the other night. It's a matter of making the choice. And too often we have guys that don't want to make that choice. And it's pretty consistent who those guys are.
While Redick did not name James explicitly, the implication was clear. When the team's supposed leader and highest paid player fails to run back on defense, it sets a ceiling on the effort level of the entire roster. James's defensive decline forces the Lakers into a schematic bind. With Luka already being a player who requires defensive insulation, the Lakers cannot afford a power forward who offers zero resistance at the point of attack or at the rim. Trading James allows the Lakers to acquire a defensive-minded wing or forward, players like Jimmy Butler or Andrew Wiggins, who can take the toughest defensive assignments. This would restore defensive structural integrity and protect Luka, much like the Mavericks did in their 2024 finals run. Beyond the tactical and statistical arguments, the financial case for trading LeBron James is irrefutable. In the era of the second apron, the opportunity cost of James's contract is the single biggest obstacle to roster improvement. What does that actually actually mean for building a team. LeBron James exercised his player option for the 2025-26 season at $52.6 million, while Luka's salary is at $46 million. These two players alone consume nearly $100 million of the salary cap. This concentration of salary pushes the Lakers into the second apron of the luxury tax, a punitive threshold introduced in the latest CBA that is designed to break up expensive rosters. The restrictions placed on a second apron team are severe and actively hinder the Lakers' ability to build around Luka. No aggregation. The Lakers cannot combine smaller contracts to trade for a better player, so getting another star or even depth pieces is almost impossible. Frozen draft picks. The Lakers cannot trade their first-round pick 7 years out, 2032/33. No mid-level exception. The Lakers lost the ability to use the taxpayer mid-level exception, $5.7 million, to sign quality role players, and you're banned from the buyout market. Trading James isn't just about saving money, it's about getting your front office's tools back. The $52 million could be reallocated to 2 to 3 high-level role players, 3-and-D wings, a rim-running center who fit the Luka timeline. Shedding the salary allows the Lakers to escape the second apron, unlocking their frozen draft picks and restoring their ability to aggregate salaries in future trades. Holding on to a declining asset at a supermax price point is a dereliction of front office duty. The Lakers must liquidate this asset to regain financial maneuverability. Not doing so means paralysis, complete paralysis. It kills your flexibility. Trading LeBron James provides the necessary political cover to also move on from Bronny, either by including him in the trade package or waiving him, thereby resetting the team's culture to one of pure meritocracy. The tenure of head coach J.J. Redick is currently in jeopardy, a situation exacerbated by the presence of LeBron James. Rumors indicate that Redick is losing the team. Redick was hired partly due to his relationship with James, co-hosting a podcast, but this relationship has become a double-edged sword. To be effective, a coach must hold all players accountable. However, when Redick chastises the team for lack of effort, as he did after the Houston loss, the message rings hollow if the primary culprit, James, is immune to consequences. The younger players look to LeBron for cues. If LeBron ignores the coach's demands for defensive exertion, the coach effectively has no authority. A shakeup might be good for the Lakers. Trading James is the ultimate shakeup. It immediately clarifies the hierarchy. Removing James eliminates the shadow government of clutch sports influence in the locker room, allowing Redick to implement his system without fear of reprisal. If the Lakers want Redick to succeed, they must give him a roster that matches his philosophy of effort and execution, traits that 41-year-old James can no longer provide consistently. Typically, teams wait for James to decide his future, paralyzed by the hope that he will stay. This passivity has historically left franchises with nothing but cap space and bad memories. By trading James now, before he becomes an unrestricted free agent or retires, the Lakers flip the script. They extract value from his departure rather than suffering it. They dictate the terms of the breakup. This prevents the Lakers from becoming the next casualty in the wake of James's career. If the Lakers commit to trading LeBron James, the market is specific. The most logical partner, as rumored and analyzed by experts like Bill Simmons, is the Golden State Warriors. The Warriors are desperate to maximize the final years of Stephen Curry. The pairing of LeBron James and Steph Curry is the holy grail of NBA storylines, promising massive revenue and a reinvigorated title window for Golden State. The Lakers could demand a return centered on Jimmy Butler if the Warriors acquire him via a 3-team deal and draft capital. Jimmy Butler brings the elite defense, toughness, and secondary playmaking that fits perfectly next to Luka and Reeves. He enforces the culture Redick wants. For LeBron, this trade offers a soft landing with a friend, Curry, and a chance to compete in a different environment. For the Lakers, it solves every problem I have identified, clears the $52 million logjam by splitting it into smaller, movable contracts, removes the defensive liability, empowers Reeves and Luka, and ends the Bronny experiment. The Los Angeles Lakers are currently engaged in a futile attempt to serve two masters, the past glory of LeBron James and the future potential of Luka. Trading LeBron James is a radical proposition, but it is the only timely move that clears the books, restores accountability, and allows the Lakers to finally turn the page. The time for sentimentality is over. The Lakers must trade LeBron James. Like, subscribe, share, and maybe even hype the video. Let me know if you agree that the Lakers must trade LeBron. Thanks for watching.